Good morning students, welcome to our next lecture of data structures and algorithms. In our previous lecture we studied about the basic introduction about data structures, what is the meaning of data structure, and from that data structures we got two terms, first one was data and second one was structure. So in that we discussed about firstly discussed about the data and then the structure. Now today's topic is algorithm. It is one of the most important topics and it also comes in our main exams, that what is an algorithm and what are the steps or structure of an algorithm. So today we will discuss about algorithm. An algorithm is a well defined procedure. We can say that an algorithm is a procedure that gives us a definition, a sequence of writing a program. The basic definition of algorithm is, an algorithm is a well defined procedure that allows a computer to solve a problem. Whenever our computer encounters a problem, it mainly divides that problem into simple steps and then solve those steps individually. So those steps can be represented using algorithm. So this was the basic definition of algorithm. So an algorithm is a well defined procedure. Well defined procedure means a procedure that we will define in a proper way. That means whenever any problem encounters, we will define properly define the steps to solve that problem and try to solve that problem according to those steps. That's why we are calling an algorithm a well defined procedure. Now what is the use of algorithm? An algorithm is mainly used because it is the best or the simplest way of solving any problem in minimum time as possible. That is, it is the best way to represent the solution of a particular problem in a very efficient and simple way. That's why we are using algorithm, because it is the best way to represent the solution of a particular problem. Solution of a problem that our system encounters. It mainly divides the problem into smaller steps and then solve those steps individually. That's why we are calling it the best way to represent, and those steps makes our problem easier to solve. So it is very efficient and simple way of representing any problem. That's why we are using algorithms. Now this was the introduction of algorithms. Now let's discuss about the structure of an algorithm. What is the structure of an algorithm? An algorithm structure contains 5 steps. First step is input step, then assignment step, third one is decision step, fourth one is repetitive step, and last one is output step. So these 5 steps constitute the structure of an algorithm. Structure of an algorithm means an algorithm is made up of all these 5 steps. All these 5 steps are, we will discuss them individually. First step is input step. In input step we mainly give the input of our program, the program which we want to create, the problem that our system encounters. According to that problem, what input is needed is given in this input step. So input step contains the input that is required to solve the particular problem, will come in this input step. Second step is assignment step. Now after the input is given to the computer about the problem that we have encountered, assignment step contains the assignment, the problem, the formula that is used, that we can use to solve our problem. That formula is given in assignment step. Second one is decision step. Now the problem that we encountered, according to the problem we gave input in input step, then according to that input we gave the formula so that we can apply that formula on the given input. Now after applying that formula, we will get two conditions. first one is true and second one is false. So that condition will come in decision step. So decision step will contain the conditions true and false. If condition true gets fulfilled, our program will get executed, and if condition gets false, then our program will go back to the input step, again read the input and then apply the other formula so that we can solve our problem. That's why this is known as decision step. Decision step, we are calling it as decision step because there we have to take the decision, our system have to take the decision according to the condition that is encountered after applying the formula, and that condition is either true or false. Now after the decision step comes the repetitive step. Repetitive step comes when there is the condition of false comes in decision step. If true comes in decision step, our program will execute, our problem will get solved. But if false comes, if false condition false comes in decision step, then what will our program do? Our program will go back to the first step, that is input step, again read the input. After reading the input, it will apply another formula so that the decision step contains the value true. So this is known as repetitive step because whenever any false condition comes in decision step, the next step will directly go back to the input step, again will repeat the same procedure that we repeated in input step, assignment step and decision step. That's why we are calling it a repetitive step. After repetitive step, if our condition is true, then according to that condition we will get our output. So output step is our last step, and in this output step, in our last step, we are getting the solution of our problem, the solution of our program that we are executing, or we can say that the problem that we encountered is the solution in last step, that is the output step. So this was the structure of an algorithm. Now next comes each algorithm must have, next comes the thing that each algorithm must contain some things, and those things are specification, preconditions, body of the algorithm and post conditions. Okay, so these all conditions must be present in each and every algorithms. Now the specification. Specification contains description of the computational problem. Description of the computational problem means the problem which we are trying to solve, the problem which we encountered should be described properly in each and every algorithm. So that's why we are calling it specification. In specification we mainly describe, we have description of the computational problem or procedure that we will apply on our program. Second are the preconditions. Preconditions are the conditions which we apply on input. Preconditions means what input should be chosen according to the specification of our computational procedure. So preconditions are the conditions which we will implement on the input. Next comes the body of the algorithm. Body of the algorithm means the proper body of the algorithm in which we are applying formula to solve the particular problem, formula, conditions, decision step, repetitive step, all these things come under the body of the algorithm point. Now lastly the post conditions. Post conditions are applied on the output of our program. The output that is generated will contain the post conditions. So post conditions will be applied on output of the program. So now the basic definition, the structure and the these algorithm parts can be understood using a simple example. Now let's take an example. We are considering a simple algorithm of finding the factorial of a number. How we can find the factorial of a number n? We can understand this using a simple algorithm. So in this algorithm, firstly we will define the algorithm for factorial n using factorial, and n represents the number for which we want to calculate the factorial. So our first step is start. We are starting our algorithm. Second step is read the number n. Now read the number n means read the number n comes in input step. So read the number n is our input step. Number n is our input for which we want to calculate the factorial. So number n, reading the number n is our input step. Now next step comes as initialize I is equals to 1 and factorial fact is equals to 1. Now after reading the number n, that is after input step, we are having assignment step. So here initialize this step 3. Initialize I is equals to 1, fact is equals to 1 is our assignment step. Assignment step means we are assigning value to I equals to 1 and fact equals to 1. That's why we are calling it assignment step. So after input step, in input we read the number n, the number for which we want to calculate the factorial, and after that we are having assignment step. In that we are initializing the value of I equals to 1 and factorial equals to 1. Now comes the next step, step 4. In step 4, what we are doing? We are repeating step 4 through 6 until I is equals to n. Now we are applying the formula to calculate the factorial. Formula is also we are applying in assignment step. So we are applying the formula from step 4 to 6 until I is equals to n. So we will apply the formula of calculating the factorial from step 4 to 6, so that we get the factorial of our desired number n. We will keep repeating the step 4 to 6 until I is equals to n, until the value of I becomes n. That's why we are repeating step 4 to 6 so that we get the factorial of a number. Now next step comes the fact. This is the formula that we are applying to calculate the factorial of a number. So for calculating the factorial of a number, we are applying the formula fact is equals to fact into I. So the factorial will be calculated using this formula fact is equals to fact into I. Next step contains I is equals to plus 1. I is equals to plus 1 means our loop will keep executing till I is equals to n. So we applied the formula fact is equals to fact into I, then value of I will increment by 1 in step 6. So using both these conditions in step 5 and step 6, we will calculate the factorial of a number. After getting the factorial of a number, we will print the factorial of a number. We will print the factorial of a number on our output step, and lastly our algorithm will stop. So in this way we can represent our algorithm. This was the simplest example of representing an algorithm. So here we can understand According to these conditions, each algorithm must have read the number n and initialization were the specification part. The preconditions that we are applying are repeating the steps. Body of the algorithm contains the both of these formulas that we have applied on our algorithm, and the post conditions are the conditions that we are applying on our output, that is we are printing our output. So this was the basic or the simplest example of representing an algorithm. Now the thing that always comes in our mind is an algorithm should, how we can say that an algorithm is good or bad. So the way of representing any algorithm as good or bad comes under the category, an algorithm is efficient if it is consuming less time and less space. If it is consuming less time and less space. So we can calculate the efficiency of an algorithm. How we can calculate the efficiency? How we can say that the algorithm that we have used to solve a particular problem is efficient? So the efficiency of an algorithm can be described in two ways. First one is space complexity, and second is time complexity. So the meaning of space complexity means an algorithm, the algorithm that we are writing to solve our problem, to solve the particular problem of our system, an algorithm should take minimum steps. Minimum step means an algorithm should save the space, should use minimum space as possible. So the algorithm using minimum number of steps will be known as an efficient algorithm. Next point is time complexity. Time complexity means an algorithm that we are writing should get completed, should get executed in a finite and minimum time as possible. So any algorithm taking minimum time will be known as efficient. Minimum time means an algorithm should terminate after a finite number of steps. After a finite number of steps will give us that minimum time for executing any program. So that's why we are taking it as time complexity. So the algorithm should get completed in minimum time as possible, in minimum, using minimum time to execute. That means an algorithm should not keep executing, should not be executing loops and loops and not terminating. So an algorithm should terminate after a finite number of steps. So in this way we can calculate the efficiency of algorithm, and efficiency of algorithm can be calculated using space complexity and time complexity. So this was the introduction about algorithm. What is an algorithm we studied today, and after that we studied the structure of an algorithm. We tried to understand the structure of an algorithm using a simple algorithm for calculating the factorial of a number n, and after that we discussed about the efficiency of an algorithm, that is the algorithm that we are writing. How we can conclude that the algorithm that we have written or that we have used for a particular problem is efficient or not. So for calculating the efficiency of algorithm we are taking two terms, space complexity and time complexity. I hope you all have understood. Thank you very much.